On because sometimes the cops can be involved in the disappearing. Obviously, you haven't heard the story of John Lang.
No, I haven't.
No.
Well, let me tell you.
Katie Lang?
Katie?
Is it KD or KT?
KD.
KD. What do they stand for? K and D.
How the fuck would we know?
I don't know.
Well, you guys are the fucking Katie Lang historians over here.
What? Is that an actual career path? I'm a Katie Lang historian, pretty much. I took 1 year off.
Her autobiographer.
All right.
Autobiographer.
Her autobiographer. You mean her.
That's pretty good.
She's been spending her whole life studying herself so she could write her life story, because now she knows it well. Obviously, you've never heard the story of John Lang, so let me hip you. There has always been criticism of those who police society. One must always wonder, who watches the watchman? The story of the death of John Lang questions much about the Fresno Police Department in 2016. Is this a tale of corruption, harassment, a murder and subsequent cover-up? Or is it the ramblings of a paranoid mind with a tragic end? Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Lang was a resident of Fresno, California, and worked as a repairman on boats and watercraft.
Beep, 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 beep.
Now, John Lang was a resident of Fresno, California, and worked as a repairman on boats and watercraft, and also worked at a local brake and tire store. John became a bit of a local activist when he discovered the police using possible illegal methods to gain revenue. John began posting on the local website, the Fresno Bee, about this issue. According to John, the police were going to Walmart and dollar store style stores in lower income areas. They would go through the parking lots in an unmarked car. They would scan all the license plates looking for various violations.
Oh, you cannot do that.
You can't do that.
That is an obvious violation.
I also read that it was linked to a new thing they had that they were basically assigning like a severity score to these scannings that linked to other things like social media accounts and other stuff. They were able to basically
they're like black mirroring them,
almost
giving them a score?
to say, right, like this person's like super high risk for having like weed on them or something. So like wait until they leave the parking lot and then go pull them over and then insist that you need to search their car or whatever.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they were using like Access.
Pretty much.
Like way
That's
before
ridiculous.
Access was like bought and sold again.
But so they would go through, they'd look for these violations and then, in an unmarked car, and then later would pull these people over in a marked car, claiming they had just come across them in their normal patrols, which was complete bullshit and completely illegal. John said that someone working with the Fresno Bee was leaking the IP addresses of people who post negative comments about the police department so they could get their physical addresses and harass them. And this began an almost 7-year-long story of either harassment or delusion. 2016 is when the story really began to heat up. Because in January 2016, in an online conversation, John explained why he was being stalked by local PD. He said that after exposing their license plate scheme, that they began to follow and target him. He stated that they were trying to plant evidence in his home. He claimed that their favorite weapon was planting child porn on their enemies' computers.
Wow.
Because child porn it's just the worst crime there is. That's
Yep.
it. It's the most indefensible. You can't say, no, it wasn't me, I didn't. If it's on your computer,
Right.
you're fucked, And
Let me
it's
just say
evil.
this: without jumping all the way over here or all the way over there, that is the worst.
That's the one. That's the one right there. That there is no redemption. There's
You
nothing.
done?
Why would he say that?
Right. Now, a person John claimed was a local cop left this ominous message on his Facebook page. If this is coming from a cop, you don't want to hear this. Quote, "First rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. You should know this, Mr. Lang."
I don't understand.
Oh, that.
Have you seen Fight Club?
What?
I don't understand why a cop would be saying that to him.
Oh.
Meaning that you're giving away the information, and when you give away the information from Fight Club, you disappear.
But all he had to say was, "I don't get the reference."
I've never seen the movie. Is it good?
Yeah.
I spend all my waking moments in terror of this police state, so I don't have time to enjoy
Please
normal
leave me
films.
alone.
Do you have any other recommendations for this weekend?
I also find just a very dorky threat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
somebody
you.
references
Oh,
the
It
rules
kind of
of
made
Fight
me.
Club
It makes
in
me
a
feel
menacing
like
way.
kind of like, ugh. Really? That's
what you got?
That's what you said to
Guy's
me?
definitely wearing a tap out shirt and wiping Mountain Dew off his lips when he's saying that. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Was it 10th grade? Or
Now, in April of 2016, John installed video cameras in and around his house to record these suspicious activities that he claims he was seeing. And there is a lot of debate about the actual nefariousness of what is seen in these videos. He posted about 17 or more online with descriptions of what he believed was happening. Like in the first video posted on May 8th, he claims his house is being stalked out by blah, blah, blah. And basically you see a man walk past John's house, stopping, pausing for a moment, kind of looking at the house, turning around, walking the other way while talking on his phone.
Wait, kind of looking at the house.
Yeah, that's it. Not like staring or anything, just kind of, meandering around and then walking away while talking on his cell phone.
That's a house.
That's it. Look at that house.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Now, John claimed you could see a gun on his hip, but you can't tell. It's a blurry clip. You can't tell if it's just a
Could be one of those phone holsters or
you never know.
Or an actual.
Could be anything.
Could be anything.
One of the more controversial videos show a black van across the street from his house with the side door open and a large film camera pointed at his house while another guy sits in the front seat talking on the phone. Which is kind of weird, but there is a film school nearby, and there is also a place nearby that rents film equipment.
That could be anything. That could be an X-ray machine. It could be Google Map Street View.
Well, it's definitely not Google Maps Street View, but it is a black van, which always is creepy.
It could be an X-ray machine.
That's what he claims in the
really?
videos.
I just
he
made
claims
that up.
no. He claims
You gotta be kidding me.
that he posted that it was a thermal imaging camera
my
to
God.
see if he was at home. But many people have pointed out that that's just a style of Steadicam, and that there's a lot of student filmmakers in the area, and you can tell that's a Steadicam. It's not an infrared cam. Infrared cameras aren't as big as this bulky bastard is. And
Bulky bastard. Wow.
and
That's great.
He also had a video of a few police cars, like 3 police cars, at night parked across from the street with several officers milling about. And it is kind of weird. I don't know if maybe they have some sort of situation up the street that they're planning for or something. But it is across the street. There's like 3 cops cars, and they're just milling about, and it is kind of menacing. You know, if you saw that without knowing there's other activity about, you would be a little nervous.
Sure.
So there's a lot of questions about this case. Then on January 14th, John's Facebook post became increasingly alarmist. He posted, quote, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. If anything happens to me in the next day or two, it will be the result of the Fresno PD.
Okay, that's...
My neighbor and an employee at my job. That they're all involved. They're all involved to get him. Then on January 15th, he sent a Facebook message to a local news anchor saying, Corinne, you want some news? Corrupt Fresno cops are going to try and kill me this weekend, possibly tonight. This is no joke. Please follow up on my story regardless what happens or what happens, regardless of what happens or what version the cops and the Fresno Bee come up with. On the 16th, he posted a video with the
Can
comment.
I just interject?
Sure.
It just seems like he's trying to cover his tracks way before like some kind of premeditated and like I don't know how this ends, but
Setting something up to happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks to say I told you so, but guess what? I told you so? Yeah, but did you say it sucks?
Just like how Nostradamus predicted the day he'd die.
Exactly.
You know, it's really easy to do that if you're, committed. Now, on the 16th, he posted a video of this white van with workers coming in around the van. And he put, if I turn up missing or dead tomorrow, remember this van. I think I seen a couple of guys sneak out the side door. He then asked if anyone wanted to crash at his place that night, especially if they had concealed permit and they were armed and could come and stay and protect him. On the 17th, he penned a long letter that he sent to the DOJ and the FBI. In it, he explains his theory about the Fresno PD wanting to plant child porn on his computer to end his dissent. He ended the letter
specific.
He ended the letter with, quote, and with this letter, I have for certain signed my death warrant with Fresno law enforcement. Kind regards, John Lang, Fresno, California. On January 20th, 2016, the Fresno Fire Department responded to a fire at 648 North Van Ness Avenue in Fresno. Inside, they found John lying on the floor in the back of the home. He had been stabbed multiple times and was pronounced dead at the hospital. Lieutenant Gomez, the PD's public information officer, told the press that John had been stabbed multiple times in the abdomen and back area, and his house was set on fire. But then the story changed. Tony Botti, a spokesperson for the sheriff and coroner, said Lang had, quote, 3 superficial self-inflicted stab wounds.
Tony Body was the spokesman
Tony,
for the coroner?
B-O-T-T-I. Body. When Tony Body me, I'm Tony Body
Tony
from
Body.
the coroner's
Coroner's
office,
report.
eating a sandwich above a body.
Stabbed multiple times.
I just thought, come on, kids, let's get fit.
I know.
Doing push-ups
like a-
with corpses.
Bodies by Tony Body.
Nice.
Corpses by body.
Body by body.
And so he blamed Gomez for having bad info. The final report, manner of death, suicide. Cause of death,
How?
wait, cause of death, inhalation of smoke and soot.
Okay.
And
All right.
so-
I gotcha.
And so they're automatically claiming he started the fire,
Sure.
regardless of what Billy Joel told you.
John Lang was the one.
It was him. It was him the whole fucking time. The police also claimed that John had cameras in the house that he turned off the day of his death. But in the final footage was shown walking around carrying a knife. I don't think anyone's seen this footage. I'm not sure, but I don't know if anyone's ever seen that footage. So in the end, was a whistleblower and a dissenter silenced by the police? Or is this just a case of paranoid delusion? It's an interesting, when you read certain sites, you're going to be like, oh, this is totally, the guy was crazy and everything. And then you read other sites where you're going, I don't know. It seems kind of, because, look at what's going on. Was it Baltimore where they found that the cops were actually carrying around fake guns to drop on people they shoot? They shoot people that are unarmed and then drop a fake pistol, go, oh, he was playing with that toy. I'm sorry. They were caught doing this, the police department.
Yes.
These are the
Right.
people that are supposed to be protecting us, and it's getting a little scary. So
definitely-
right now, as we're slowly disappearing, I don't think I want to get them involved.